cigarette. Just one cigarette. Have a long one. Healthy, huh? Healthy. No. Take five, yeah. I want to introduce to someone our people in Malaysia here. Thanks first, because they think heavy.
It's really heavy.
Ini memang berat sekali kata bola nanti sorry main sistem ni. Banyak mesin. Kalau dah jadi semua use case dia just pasang dulu. Yesterday you are more than 10%. They want to maybe can summarize. You can just I will go in. Yes, I appreciate what you said. Public coaching jadi exercise. Public coaching I think we will just summarize on the most of this just zero. Not two. Yeah. We have Saiful from insurance. Today you will get a lot of questions.
I think it's okay, right? It's very, it's okay, right? Yeah, it's helpful. End up staff insurance, agent insurance. Agent. Oh. So you're running the business lah. I see. Okay. What can actually be done? Yeah. I think this is the plan. Take note. You want some more? Oh, okay.
Tapi kau perlu buka lah, kau boleh nampak test.
IPO is initial topic for me. That means when you do IPO, you actually have maybe 3 years or 5 years of track record. Then you go into the financial market and you get something out of the business. ICO, you can start with zero, you don't have anything, then you only have one. Down the road, what you want to do, and you get something to the difference is the sequence of getting the money from the capital. So one is very solid track record, one is option based investment. It's actually investment. It's just like conventional investment, but it just works in a different world. Life cycle. Nah, saham itu. Jenis saham. Yeah, you just put in the central subsidy system visa or whatever, you use a certificate like that. But this one, they don't give you any certificate, they only give you the yeah, yes. Yeah. So the risk is always there because the people can bond just like that. Maybe. Stable, Bitcoin is hardly stable at the moment. Sometimes it can stable. Oh, I don't know. I don't know how things will happen.
Design for sensation.
Ada frame. Lihat.
Lebih banyak usul tak ada.
Buat banyak buat.
Sampel informasi tu. Apa benda ini?
Kita mas.
Besar ni. Sini.
Apa kau boleh buat sekian?
Kau ke buat atas buat dengan kita.
Di mana tak macam tu boleh. Aku apa ikut tak tahu. Current audience sesuai
Cina ni berapa kali dah?
11 kali. Start awal tahun. Ada juga kita
dengan awam
Saya universiti.
universiti ya.
Adalah universiti ada yang dikira hari ni ini yang tidak ada soal bukan semua restoran. Yang macam ni konsep of time lah. Tapi yang umum tu ada PhD. Tapi dia tak dikira. Jadi at least dah ada fundamental lah kan. Macam bro kena baca, kena banyak dibaca. Tak boleh faham satu hari. Tapi boleh faham dah tu. Maksudnya faham sebenarnya
Nampak dia punya bingkai tu.
yes.
Bitcoin satu masa ni mungkin akan jadi stable
Macam mas.
tak akan stable lah, maksudnya tak akan jadi satu harga yang tetap. Contohnya macam habis mining dah habis
Dia stable, dia stable, dia jadi mahal, dia boleh jual simpan, semua dia demand sekitar itu yang dia boleh tak volatile. Macam mas kan? Tapi dari beberapa Bitcoin at least dia tahu teknologi dia boleh mine. Emas tahu mungkin tak tahu lagi. Emas dia tak tahu lagi, dia banyak lagi. Tapi Bitcoin dia dah kena buat tetap. Yes.
Dia berbeza dengan Ripple.
Itu dia perspektif ekonomi lah. Nanti kalau kita terangkan apa perspektif ekonomi macam mana kan. Ripple ni private blockchain. Private blockchain.
Private blockchain.
Yes.
Tak sama macam Bitcoin. Jadi mining lah.
People tak ini. People tak ini. Biasanya saya terang kan. Yang saya tu saya sedang kan.
Okay.
Cuma kita aja masuk. Kalau keluar iman.
Okay, now we can
Bisa.
Kalau macam apa tu macam ikan.
dia dekat dia.
Ikan kan. Kalau macam mesin boleh touch tu
Wave kan?
Wave kan. So kalau macam mesin ni memang tak boleh. Maksudnya macam Bitcoin ni memang tak boleh.
Bitcoin ni belum lagi. Saya tak tahu whether they want to do or not lah. Tapi
Buat dekat blockchain macam mana boleh touch?
tak. Blockchain you just treat it as a database only.
Database.
It's just a technology, so it doesn't affect the user interface or the user experience part of it. Macam ni lah. Kalau saya store saya punya database cara begini, saya tak perlu end user dia tak payah tahu kan. Ada blockchain ke tak ada blockchain, as long as I scan I can get the money, then okay lah.
Kalau macam Bitcoin tu dia
Bitcoin no, I think ada orang dia cuba nak buat cut dengan Bitcoin,
Sebab
tapi it
Singapura
doesn't make sense lah.
Yang Singapura pernah nak buat 0.5 Bitcoin dengan tukar tu.
Dia cuba, tapi saya tak tahu whether it makes sense or not lah. Whether people want to use or not lah. 0.5 Bitcoin tu mahal kan, 3,000. Siapa nak beli barang ada 3,000 satu kali. US dollar semua. So can we start? Ada kan? Oh dia
she's after lunch.
Yeah.
Our staff council said a very important issue.
Satoshi Nakamoto.
This is a family of the Satoshi Nakamoto.
Twin. Satoshi Nakamoto bukan nama betul lah dia.
You guys.
Satoshi Nakamoto tu nama orang yang buat tu kan ataupun macam
Dia macam legend lah. Salah orang tahu siapa dia. Tak tahu.
dia kumpulan ke atau persoalan
Probably kita ada group people,
grup kan.
philosopher, economist,
He's one of them.
cryptographer.
Okay, I think last 5 minutes only. So, in answering these questions, right, what is blockchain? What can we do? Where are we now? Where can we go? And where do we want to go? So, I think this is the final 3 questions. Where are we? Where can we go? And where we want to go? So, if we look at the technology progress throughout the years and we separate it into 3 main phases, and we look at it at a 100-year scale of it. So we actually spent around 30 to 40 years already for the World Wide Web, where we loaded a lot of information into our internet. So what we have now today is a lot of fake news, fake information, fake identity, fake transactions, whatever fake things that you can think of. So we need this blockchain technology to do all the filterings. So it's about authenticity and about genuinity of the internet. So blockchain technology came into the picture to filter out all this fake information that we left over in this World Wide Web scene. At the same time, we are trying to connect all the data from other devices other than human beings. So internet is about communications and about media. Then this center part of it is about connecting more devices and bringing in more data into the ecosystem. So, which summarizes what I just mentioned this morning. We are trying to get lots of different data into one single system, be it a single system or a system that communicates with each and every of a smaller scale system. At the end of the day, we are trying to build one very effective artificial intelligence system where we can have effective resource distribution happen around the globe. So this is where we are heading. This is where we are now. And everything goes back to big data thing. It's all about data mining. So one of the sweet spots might be like the day of the old computing era would be something like Oracle where you do data storage. So data storage is one of the perspectives you can look into it because data grows over time and you can't stop it. And how you manipulate this data, how you utilize this data, what this data could bring, what are the values that you can extract out of this data. This is another field that you can look into it. So AI, data mining, big data, data storage, data analytics, IoT. I think there are quite a lot of things and quite a lot of use cases that you can create or you can advise your clients or you can try to think of. And you just focus on one thing, and that one thing could be just your sweet spot, and it could anytime be a unicorn or a decacorn. Oh. But we have yet to see now. I mean, all these killer apps from all these industries. So we actually went to one guy. They actually tried to do IoTW. So they just put a small device. Let's say you have this thing going through to your fan. Then maybe you just put a small device in between, or your fridge, your washing machine, your TV. You just put a small device. As the current flows through, that device will become a mining machine. They are trying to do these kind of things. So it's just a bypass and doing something as part of the system as well. And they call that project IoTW. They have a few scientists there and a few, yeah. So this is just one of the examples. And this, just to summarize what we have just gone through for the basic part of it. So I think FND will do more on the use case and sharing and all that. Okay. So any questions on that? Please, guys. If not, then FND will.
So any closing, guys? Or any sharing from you guys, feedback, understanding on this topic? Koh focus on the general concept, how he gives some sort of definitions to this technology and then adoption. My focus more on the use cases. Of course, in order to understand this, it takes time. It's a very good start for us. It's a kickstart for us also. Maybe some of you guys are beginner, but some of you guys also already maybe expert. But we try the best to ensure at least the fundamentals, because today we will go all around on the project aspect, also use cases, and I will share also on the regulatory side. That's fine. But please understand first the foundation, the general concept on this matter, because topic is very important to ensure that the foundation is there. Then we go to use case. If not, understand the general concept, it's difficult for you to go furthermore on this other session. And this expert is quite difficult, in one day to gather all together, because we always got invitation all around the world. But luckily we are so lucky today. We have a Japanese expert, maybe one from Canada, so we come here to meet you guys, sharing. So please leave questions or anything. We want you guys challenge us, because sometimes of the question we only expected the same question everywhere in the world that we give the speech, but we want more challenge on question, sharing.
And blockchain have two parts.
Two part. I mean, that is according to my sharing, because you can actually define blockchain out of your own perspective as well. No, I mean, this is just general. So your question is
First part IT, fintech and
fintech. So that's what the world is trying to do. They actually try to separate out this thing into two parts. So one is technology and one is crypto economy. So they don't touch the sensitivity of the authorities, of the regulators. But in fact, this thing is, if you understand how things work, they are actually inseparable. It's just a matter of whether you want to use that functionality or not. Then, I think this is what happened in around the world at the moment, because of the authorities, because of these sheriff things.
Question. The data is stored in blocks.
Yeah, in encrypted blocks.
Encrypted blocks. So if all the data is stored all over the world, then how we mine the data?
How do you do the data mining part of it, right? That one you can look into the further technical detail when you can search for interplanetary file system.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. So that would be much more technical side of it. and you have this public key and the private key part of it, where you can define the access of the data. So that will fall under that.
The short form is ID.
Interplanetary File System, IPFS. But the data storage is also part of something that is ongoing. So it's something that is evolving as well. And that means we are trying to solve the scalability of this thing as well. As you know, this is so much of a different way of storing data as a conventional way. So this is something very new, and this is something that happened since the day we invented the database structure in the previous way. So this is one of the breakthrough, not until today that we have this breakthrough, how we store data and how we protect our data.
So, are there more further readings if you're interested to read up more of what you shared?
Further reading, yes, my book 2 chapter, slideshare.net/housing. I put everything in words and means in this, but if you want to have further reading, my personal recommendation is Andreas Antonopoulos. I mean, from the conceptual wise and for a more layman explanation of the whole thing. And I think Andreas, he actually presented to a lot of bankers and big fours as well throughout his videos. Yeah, you get a lot of insights. Something that is much more sensitive, as he touched on the revolution part of how they actually try to break through the conventional activity control.
Does he go into the verticals like supply chain,
No.
and healthcare, or it's just broad?
It's just a problem.
Does he want to go into this verticals?
For the verticals, I think people around the world are still building the use cases. So these 2 years are the fulfillment years for blockchain projects. So only sometime within these 2 years, we'll see more and more use cases coming out. And whether these use cases are solid or will they last long is still quite a question mark actually. And if you want to look into use cases, IBM is one of the places that you can go and look further into, because I think they have more than 400 blockchain projects on hand. And the big four, they actually have their own blockchain consultation as well.
In terms of the mention about let's say the banking example.
Banking, yes.
Yeah. And normally, like a teller, right?
Teller.
Several cases like there's if I deposited some money and one point that the teller put the money in her own pocket or
Yes.
created her own account, right?
Yes.
So this one are happening in the banking
Yes.
industry, right?
Yes.
So I'm saying this because there's an example.
Yes.
In this case in Manila,
Yeah.
that one particular teller got the money from a
From
depositor, right? So I'd like to know how the blockchain could help the banking
Okay.
industry in terms of the consumer point of view,
Okay.
from the teller point of view to from the depositor point
This
of
is
view.
a very good question, because what the blockchain is trying to do is that instead of putting a banking system into your phone,
Yeah.
the whole industry is trying to put a bank into your phone. That means there won't be any teller, there won't be any banks in the future. This is what eventually, this is how they started. That means in your case, there won't be any teller in the scenario anymore. So if I were to deposit money for someone else, in this case, let's say for a bank, right?
Yeah.
So what I need to do is a peer-to-peer transfer. That means there won't be any middleman or any teller or anything in between. No, it's all about decentralization. So that means what I need to know is I only need to know. Let's say you're a bank. I only need to know let's say Bitcoin. I only need to know your Bitcoin wallet address, and I can transfer this wallet address to you directly. So if anything goes wrong, the only possibility is that you gave me the wrong address, or I transfer the wrong amount. So that there won't be any fault or error. These possibilities won't happen anymore. So in your case, so there won't be any bank. So this is how they solve the problem
That
by
one is
taking away the
crypto,
bank.
but what about the fiat?
So crypto is not there to help the fiat.
Yeah.
It's there to outthrow the fiat. That means, yeah, if bank were to use the crypto concept for the fiat, they have to do away the fiat. I mean that would be more on the monetary system design already. That means they will have to choose whether they want to cap the supply of the money or they want to follow the crypto concept or the crypto philosophy that monetary supply shouldn't be unlimited and we shouldn't create inflation out. But I think this is somehow their original intention that they could rock the mask so that there's this thing going on. I think this is just from personal point of view. And yeah, the whole concept is to put a bank, but not a banking account into your phone. That means each and every one of us can act as a bank. And this guy actually created quite a lot of crypto out of himself. The problem is circulations, whether people want to use his crypto or not. That's the only problem. So imagine if he owns Facebook or if he owns anything with a community and people accept to use what he created, then he is virtually a central banker and he can print whatever he wants as long as people buy his idea.
But is it possible for the crypto to survive without fiat?
Possible.
Right.
As long
For normal transaction, if I buy a cup of water, how is the crypto doing?
goes back to this three things: consensus, coin, community. So now we are at a point that everybody, as long as you know how to do programming, as long as you know how to access or create a system, virtually anybody can print money now. So now the problem is whether you are a trustworthy person for people to use your money or not, and whether these people want to use your coin as their medium of trust. If you have that enough base of things, let's say like Facebook, right? Take Facebook as a case example.